Hello everyone, hello. I am Lilybwees, your divorced, agoraphobic, femcel hagtuber. Welcome. I play games wrong on purpose. Yeah. Anyway, welcome. Today is more Boid dev work, just because I have been making a lot of progress and I want to finish it off if you haven't seen, Offkai posted their schedule for the panels and my panel is on there. It is 11 p.m. Saturday night, right after Offkai Live, the big concert. But also, if you're not able to go to Offkai, I will be streaming the panel after the convention. So, not a recording, I'll just present it again. And, probably based on, like feedback and how it went and all that. And so it will probably be a slightly better version of the panel. Also, maybe extended, depending. Because, we have an hour to give the panel, and on stream I can talk as long as I want. I'm also just kind of in a mood. Let's see, yesterday was a not great day. Just, normal stuff, but, well, normal for me. I was crashing out and in bed most of the day from anxiety attacks. But anyway, just kind of yappy. Didn't actually hang out with friends this weekend or anything. Even though I intended to. But yeah. Anyway. I was gonna play the I forget what the name is. It's the one with necromantic and all of that for myself, but maybe I'll switch to something more chill. That might be good. Let's see. What is this? This is either gonna be chill or really hard rhythm game music. Based on the first 10 seconds, it's impossible to tell. Yeah, Akatsuki Records. I just have had some of their songs stuck in my head. But now that I'm actually talking, I want something more chill on my end. I mean, I could honestly just switch the BGM on my end. Okay, no, this is a rhythm game. Where's Ahisa? Ahisa, my love. There are a few music artists I would love to get like a BGM track from, and Ahisa is one of them. Although I don't know if they still do stuff, actually. Their last album I'm seeing was from 2022. They just gotta make like fun. Everything sounds like a game soundtrack. Are they active? Yeah, they've been posting a bunch of stuff on YouTube. Oh, this is like Runa music. There's a bunch of good stuff here. I'm gonna shuffle this. Hi, Bien. But yeah, they have songs called like Maple Syrup, Honey, Caramel, Yum Yum Cake, and stuff like that. And everything sounds like a BGM for a video game that doesn't exist. I just like those artists. They're good. But yeah, I'm just probably gonna be yapping and working and all of that, just because Yeah. I will say, yesterday crashing out, I maybe started going through Magic the Gathering cards. I might start playing Commander online with folks. Not in paper. Maybe eventually in paper, but paper's so fucking expensive. Thankfully, none of the cards I'm interested in are very expensive either, so paper's like a one day paper would be fun. Not anytime soon, though. Not anytime soon. But yeah, we're just gonna do more Boyd work. Hello, Gribbus. Also, I kind of wanted to be drinking tea and stuff during this, but I forgot that the kettle was out of water. Like the big water heater that I have, that I got a while back. It is... which happens if you drink 1 liter to 2 liters of tea a day. That happens. It runs out, despite being 5 liters. There's mint growing in the backyard. Also sage. No, but honestly, you could tell me that anything was growing in the backyard and I probably wouldn't be surprised, because we have a lot of things growing in the backyard. Two liters a day of... It's just like a green tea, and I re-steep the leaves a bunch. So it gets weaker and weaker with like less and less caffeine. So I can like drink it throughout the day, which is nice. But yeah. I've been having too much fun looking at Magic cards. Yes, you have a question. What is your question? What is your question, Chovek? Kovek. How many liters do you get told to drink daily? We get told to drink 8 cups. How many cups in a liter? Which is just under 2 liters. 8 cups is just under 2 liters. No, we do know what a liter is, because soda is, big soda bottles are 1 liter to 2 liters. No, it's... In the US, it's 8 cups of water. It's always 8 cups of water. That is... It has been 8 cups of water as long as I live. So... if there are Americans who are telling you that, Gribbo, stop blocking the tracking. Yes, if it's Americans telling you this, that's because they don't drink enough fluids, and they're trying to make themselves feel better. What do you mean, Orca? Orca zone. I'm sorry to let you know the recommended amount of fluids a day is 8 cups, or a bit under 2 liters. Please drink more, or else. Okay, sent. Can noodle water be part of that? I mean, yeah. I mean, not, but also not really. There's a lot of salt and stuff in it. You should... 8 cups is like a baseline for what you should be drinking. You should probably usually be drinking more than that. But like 8 cups or 2 liters is like base level for what you should be drinking. I don't drink that much. I'm bad about staying hydrated. But yeah, most people can drink 3 or 4 liters a day, and you're supposed to be doing that. Yes, I know I'm a bad spokesperson. But I'm trying to get better. It's easier when I'm streaming to stay hydrated, because I usually have the teapot, and every time I fill the teapot, it's another 200 milliliters. So if I make multiple cups of tea, I can very quickly hit a liter. Tea is such a minor diuretic, if you look it up. Or green tea is such a minor diuretic that it's actually interchangeable with water. That's why you see in a lot of countries the recommendation is 2 liters of water or tea. Because the amount of caffeine in green tea is low enough that it's actually not an issue when it comes to staying hydrated. So. Also, you're usually not making, like, fresh... And also, like, the amount of caffeine that I'm having is reduced because I keep on re-steeping. Yeah, and a lot of teas are herbal, and... But yes, the 2 liter recommendation is actually water or green tea. That's included. I'm sorry, the Pissidachis are dead because Pomu died in her cockpit ship. In space, it exploded. Alright, I was gonna work on this. Stop attacking your tail on my lap. I mean, so actually decaf coffee does have caffeine in it. Not a lot, but it's still caffeinated. Interestingly enough. I like caffeine. I don't drink a lot of it. I drink like a bit of iced coffee. I basically, the amount of caffeine that I have, I mean, it's usually green tea. I can't do the Adderall and coffee at the same time. Green tea is fine. It's a low enough caffeine amount, and the amount that I usually have, again, I'm re-steeping 4 or 5 times. So the caffeine amount goes down, thankfully. And then I like milk and lemonade and a bunch of other stuff. Yeah, and if I don't have the ADHD, then if I don't take the ADHD meds, then I will have a cup of coffee, which in the US is usually actually 2 cups. They usually give you 12 or 16 ounces of it. If you order a cup of coffee at some place, it's usually 12 or 16 ounces that they give you. Or if you get like a latte or some sort of mixed drink, it's usually 2 espresso shots. That's just standard size. So if you get like an iced Americano, it's going to be usually 2 espresso shots in the US, from my experience. If you get a large, it's usually 4. So I at most will drink like 1 of those, like a small. So usually either like a double shot of espresso or like 12 to 16 ounces of iced coffee. If I'm not an hour, and that's all I have for the day. So. Yeah. I mean, well, it's more the problem of the cup measurement we use. No, that's just how much caffeine I have. I drink other things. I just don't drink a lot of caffeine because I have no need to. Unless I'm like doing finals or something. I'm usually not mainlining caffeine. And I mean, now I've been drinking coffee long enough that I have a caffeine addiction. And so I do get headaches if I'm not, you know, if like I go a day or two. Yeah, there's no universal cup. The problem in the US, a cup is 8 ounces. But a cup is also referred to as a physical cup of an object. So like a cup of coffee at a restaurant is usually actually a 12 to 16 ounce portion. Or not a restaurant, a coffee shop. So it's just people often greatly underestimate the amount of caffeine that they intake. But yes, I like thank you, Bean, for the membership. Thank you. Also, thank you, Mia, for the membership. Thank you. But yeah, the thing is at you know, I like coffee. I really like the taste of coffee. I used to hate it, and then I lived with my sister for a while, and then she introduced me to... Thank you, Jovek, for the membership. Thank you. And then she introduced me to good coffee. And at first, you know, I was having it with a lot of milk and a lot of syrups, and then I realized that I actually enjoy it black. I mean, my favorite way is iced. I really, really like iced coffee. Because it makes it sweeter. And it like dulls certain flavors and accents and accentuates others. So I really like, especially like the Japanese style, which is kind of like flash chilled. And a bunch of places nearby here serve that. And it's very nice. So I really like that. Otherwise, if I'm drinking coffee, it's usually either iced coffee and iced Americano, or it is specifically espresso, soda water, and some sort of syrup. Sometimes espresso and tonic water in a syrup. Usually soda water, though. Whether that be simple, if it's with the tonic, it's usually simple syrup, and they might add like a little bit of a dash of something citrusy or something. Or what I like getting is one of the coffee shops nearby has this homemade strawberry syrup that they make, which is really, really good. And then my favorite, the one that started me drinking this, is there was in New Haven, Connecticut, a place called Fussy Coffee that has a really good, it is just macerated strawberries in sugar that's blended up and almost made into a syrup like that. It is like a syrup that consists of strawberry pulp. So it's less of a liquid and more, you know, a mixed like substance. But it's so good. It's almost like a jam. It's more like a jam or preserves, I think, than like a syrup, but it's drinking sugar blended with sugar and more sugar. Yeah, so for me it's the strawberry. Like the strawberries are the sweet part, and then it's just plain soda water and espresso. So I do like it. I do like my drink sweet. If I'm going to be drinking a coffee drink that isn't just iced coffee, I do like it sweet, I will say. But honestly, like, I've kind of drifted away from mochas and all those kind of things, like, and lattes and all of that. It's just, I want it more coffee forward, and usually with the, like, espresso, like these espresso sodas and stuff, the nice thing is that they're very, they're sweet, but because it's like 3 ingredients and one of them isn't as like overpowering as like milk and stuff, the coffee is so strong in them, which I really, really like. It's not as bitter, but it's still very strong. So it's just fun for me. Oh, I've had some good spiced coffees. I've had some really, really good spiced coffees, actually. It was from New Mexico. Spiced coffee. The Pinon, I don't know how to say that. Pinon? Pinon? Pinon. Coffee. It's very good. So I like spiced coffees, actually. I think they're good. But yeah, my thing with coffee is I really like the taste of coffee. And there is a surprising amount of natural sweetness in them, but the problem is the sweetest ones are also usually the most acidic, and I don't like super acidic coffees. So it's always this weird balancing act of trying to get a coffee with natural sweetness to it that's also not acidic. It's difficult. And also like the way that you roast them, like usually it's a medium roast, like is good, because like dark roasts always taste burnt to me, and light roasts are usually extremely acidic. But also it's so temperamental drinking, but then if it's iced, suddenly everything is just way better for me. But drinking like hot coffee the beans are so difficult. Like, and there are places I've had that it's a matter of temperature. It is, but also the roast matters a lot. The origin of the beans matters a lot. It is honestly kind of a nightmare. Like single origin coffee is just there's so much going on. It's so temperamental. It's just, and how you brew it, what temperature you brew it, how you grind it, all of these change the final cup so much. And it's like, and just how long ago was it brewed? Like, if you're ordering hot coffee from a place, are they brewing it fresh? Almost nobody does this, like, unless it's like drip or something, or not drip, like certain types of, what's the word? I don't remember. Is it drip or filter? One of those two. And then the other one is a pour over. Pour over is what I'm thinking of. Pour over. Yes, that's what I'm thinking of. Look, at this point, I've gotten it down to I get iced coffee. I get iced coffee. The iced coffee is always good from the places that I get. Usually it's not like a single origin. Usually it's some sort of blend that they use. And it's good. And it's all from, do I fuck with Turkish coffee? I don't know if I've had Turkish coffee. Oh, okay. Okay, no, wait, hold on. Yes, I have had... No, yeah, wait, I have had Turkish coffee. Yes, literally at that bakery. Literally at that one bakery. No, we did go. We did go once. It was good. I do not like cold brew, which is weird. I prefer iced coffee over cold brew any day. Even the ones that aren't like the Japanese style, like flash chilled ones. even just like your regular generic diner iced coffee, I will take over cold brew. I'll be honest, there is something nice about going to a shitty diner and getting their iced, burnt to hell black coffee, and it's like, it's kind of good. There's something nice about diner coffee. It's never good coffee, but there's something nice about it. And it's still better than Starbucks. Anyway, I was working on Boids. So we were going to have a dynamic circle based on the Boid count, and then we were going to add an energy function. Energy function might be good. So, okay. So we're going to add Wota threshold, and then we're going to add a new var, which we're going to call energy. And that's going to be float. I mean, we're going to set it. Okay, so no energy. Oh, active is rand f. So we're going to do energy equals rand f. Equal, and then active if that. So each time in the physics step, each time we will set the active, we'll say that. Do we want to do that at the end of the physics step? The frame after, I guess it doesn't matter if we do it the current frame or the frame after. That's fine for Boid in Boids. So we're gonna add a excitement distance. Excitement distance. Export var excitement factor. We're gonna put this low. I'm gonna make this less slow. I'm gonna make this 200, I think. Oh. That should be a float. Okay, the kettle has boiled, but now I need to wait for the kettle to cool down to green tea temperatures, which is always the long part. Okay. So I think there should just be a... Okay, there should be a var, and there should be this energy one. And then there should just be a single Boolean where if it, okay, now we're gonna, so there's this Wota threshold that you need to meet to be interested in, and then we're gonna add a Wota floor. Float. Where if it's below a certain amount, you will never be, basically, so at the beginning of this step, we figure out what the base energy, we generate a random energy. If it's too low, you're never interested in the Wota. You will never join in the group. join in the Wota pit. So we're gonna add a var uninterested. Cool. Active interested. No, we can make. I don't like doing a negative variable. Actually, I'm gonna do interested. Interested. We need to. We'll check if the energy is greater than the floor. If active, so basically each step we, for Boids, we're going to add a if interested. If, oh no, we only need to do this check after the... If not active and not. Sure, we'll do this at the end. That's just a single. We can check this later. I think that's fine. If interested and not active. Okay, that's fine. If interested, if distance squared is... Okay, then we need to add... We added a... What did I call that? Var... Excitement distance. So we need to add a excitement distance squared. Just this little optimization is nice. Squared equals excitement distance times 2. Okay. Alright, so then that's just a little bit of... There's a word for... Memoy? Is it? No. Something. There's... For doing math beforehand. Like pre-computing stuff so that the later functions take less time. There's some fancy word for it in algorithms, but it is basically just do the math that you can do beforehand. It might be, yeah, it's memorization. Okay, I was right. But like this stuff is just like calculating the distance of something requires you doing a square root. So if instead you remove that and square roots are very expensive. So if you just don't do that, then you can actually speed up a lot of time if you just square everything to start. Yeah, square roots are just, they are yucky. They're just like one of those things that are so useful and so expensive. It's like, okay. But yes. So distance squared equal to... Energy plus equals... Energy... no, excitement factor. Yes. So we want excitement factor to be really low. Like really low. That might be too low. And then we want the color. Okay, so then we're gonna make threshold a lot higher. So only 10% are doing it. 60% will never participate in it. No, so we want the excitement factor to be less low. That seems right. I should color code them. Okay, so now there's only a couple doing it, and then more people join in gradually. Okay. Yeah, that's what I want. Okay, we should make the Wota... That happened really fast. So now we have a few people doing it. And gradually you get a couple more people joining in. I think that distance is too high. Oh, they're doing it based on anyone in the crowd. I just realized that's going to make this, and then I wanna make them different colors, I think. Yeah, if energy, if Boid.active. We're going to make var Boid active equals Boid.active. If and Boid active. Okay, and now... Okay, how do you tint? Tint... Godot. How do I tint the color of a sprite? We can use modulate. Sprite modulate color green. If active, and then we want sprite dot mod. Where's the sprite? How do we do that? Sprite 2D. 2D dot modulate color dot red. Oh no, color dot green. Let's do lime green. If active, okay, and then if they become active, if interested and not active, if active, then sprite modulate. Cool. Do we not have modulate anymore? Sprite 2D modulate. Godot. Do we not do modulate anymore? Oh, is it texture 2D? Is... Alright, how do we change... Okay, I'm gonna look up modulate. No, that's not in it. Color. Okay, how do we change a color of a sprite? Okay. I mean, I guess we can instead of the sprite, I guess we could just use a polygon. Oh, modulate is a property? Oh, so it is. Okay, it says there is a modulate right here. Yeah, sprite.do... Oh. Oh, modulate equals. That makes sense, that makes sense. Yeah, I'm calling it as a method. That makes a lot of sense. Okay. Alright, so now we can see the Wota people. Okay, the circle is way too big, which we need to fix, and we're going to do that with the dynamic circle. But now we do have people joining in, which is nice. Yeah, circle is way too big, so the behavior is bad. Okay. I want to do a gradual modulation, probably, but this is not terrible visualization. It's something. Alright, how do we do this? So, how do we... Alright, we can do the gradual sprite. So if we're doing that, we'll just do equals. So if we're starting at 1 and we need to go to that, we want color, line green, times some sort of low factor, 0.01. Okay. Sprite modulate. Oh, okay, cool. We'll get rid of this. No, okay. We'll get rid of that. Because if it's active, we do want to set it to the color. But then we want it to be set to... let's see. So I'm gonna go back to the radio, I think. Okay. Yeah, this will be good. So I want to make the factor equal to alright, if interested, energy plus equals excitement factor. No, I do not want to mess with copyrighted music. There's just too many things that can go wrong. Even on Twitch, I didn't like doing it. Modulate equals, so then what we want is minus, so we want to lerp between color dot white, what is color? RGBA Okay, can a vector for lerp? Let's see, vector for constructed methods. Yes. So it is, but sometimes you can still get DMCA'd for it. Like that's the weirdness with and also just streaming just the music. I would need to do the full stream, and I'm just not that interested in multi-streaming. Equal vector4.lerp. Color white, color, and then the float is going to be lerp f from .0, 1.0. No, wait, no, we can just do the... We don't need to add another lerp. We can just do specifically... what we want is... energy... energy over... what is it? Wota threshold? I think. And energy is a float. Okay, no. We can just do lerp. We can do this. We don't need to add the type safety. I should make them a different color than the green. If interested, and not active. Energy plus equals assignment factor. Well, then we want to lerp between... what's a good color? Red? Firebrick. Okay, so then the ones that are red are interested, and the darker red they get, the more likely they are to join the circle. Hello, Pyrobola. It goes pretty well. Energy. Okay, no, the... let's see. We want energy minus floor, I think. Minus Wota floor. Minus Wota floor. I think that's right. I think that'll be more accurate. Yeah, that should be good. And I'm gonna add this to the initial... code right after if active else. Cool, this modulate. And so then that should still give us Okay, how did the lerp? Okay, no, we want that. Yep, that works. And we have a extra one right here. Okay. All right, let's see if this should work. Yep, we can see which ones are interested. They get darker and darker, and then they join. Yeah, that's just good visualization for how the crowd actually works. Cool. Value is a little bit, I think the values we can tweak. Wota floor is almost too high, I think. Yeah, 30% I think is good. And we're gonna make this even higher. So now we only have 5% of the people are like running towards it in the beginning. Okay, yeah, I like this. This is a little bit more... I think this is good. That's a little bit more... Yeah, that's more realistic, them joining. I think I want even more people interested. No, I think 70... Maybe 60... So this way, it's only the people that are right nearby. Like, there's more people that would maybe can potentially join the circle if the circle was right next to them. Yeah, this isn't bad. Okay, I like this behavior. This behavior is good. Cool. Yes, I know, Gribbus, I know. Sleepy baby. She's making noises. Yeah, are you having dreams, child? Yeah, I know. Yeah, this is good. I like this. And also with how dynamic the crowd is, this just works well. Okay, so now we need to make the... distance different. The only way... making the size of all of these values change based on a single... Yeah, now we're making the circle wonky. Just making it get bigger and bigger as more people join. So let's see, with this number... also that way they should stay in a circle better, I think, is the hope. Okay, so... God, I have so many variables. Well, actually, I guess what we found out is the mask and the other thing don't actually matter a lot for performance. because it's already doing the overhead, so the masking and the layering isn't actually what's important. So I could literally do a... Okay, then I guess we're gonna need to change the... We'll add a scale to the thing. No. All right, for this maximum size, we want the predation size. We probably want, I think 300 is our max. So these are the variables that we're going to have to change dynamically, and the attraction distance squared and the inactive distance squared. Okay. Fuck. And we want to do that based on the number of Boids. How can we do this? We could add a new object, like a singleton in the scene that all it does is, well, actually, the mediator is the singleton. We only have one of those. That's fine. We can add a new script. We're just gonna add var active Boid count. Equals 0, and then we're gonna have export var min size float. Min size float. Okay, we're gonna add we can make the fear circle, the avoidance circle, and the predation circles different. Yeah, float equals active float. Export var min size. Is that not how we write that? Am I doing... Oh, add export. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. So then the float size... I know that shouldn't be a float. That should be an int. Then we're gonna add a export var size factor equals 0. No, we want a sure. And then we want the ratio for predation. We did predation attraction 700. Okay, we can add the and then we'll add a max size, I guess. I don't like adding a max size. The mediator is... No, we can add a max size actually, because we're not doing this. Okay. No, so we want to do the factor. We have it set to 700 or 200. 700 by 200, so it's like 3.5. Export var attraction. Attraction ratio float equals 3.5, something like that. So then we can add var predation distance, var attraction distance, var okay, we can have var attraction distance and then var we'll do var inactive predation distance, and then I'll just add a export var inactive difference float. Right now that's like 50, and I think that's fine. That's basically the border. And then we need predation, all of these squared. Okay. Float, float, float. Cool. And then for function, if active, how do we grab the mediator? Okay, no, we want a var mediator. We want a export var mediator, I think. Export var mediator. No TD? No, we don't need to export that. We can just... No 2D. Okay. So then we're just gonna make mediator equals get parent dot mediator. Okay, mediator position is going to be equal to mediator.global position. And then if active mediator dot active void count plus equals 1. And whenever we get set to active, oh, no, we're gonna call that mediation. That should work. Mediation equals get meteor force, mediation, okay. Okay, let's see if this works without crashing. Little laggy in the beginning, but that's fine. Per second of a simulation, just okay. That's fine. And then this is gonna be costly. Physics step. Func physics process. Oh, we're gonna do a var last void count equals 0. If active void count not, can we do this? Yes. Last void count. So if there's a change is the only time we need to do all this math. So if that's true, then predation distance equals min size plus size factor times active void count. I mean, I think that has precedence, but I like doing that just in case. Anyway, and then so then predation distance, attraction distance equals predation distance times attraction ratio. And then inactive predation distance equals attraction distance plus inactive distance. And then, okay, predation distance squared equals predation distance times 2. And then attraction distance, oops, squared equals attraction distance times 2. Yes, this should work. Oh, and then we need a func on ready. On ready, I think is... So we just want to set Predation distance equals min size. Inactive predation distance equals min size equals predation distance plus inactive difference, and then attraction distance equals, we can just do this because we've set them. Yeah, and then we can just copy all this stuff. Sure. What's the difference between on ready and ready, Godot? Oh, no, we want ready. Okay. Okay, yeah, yep. So actually for this we want var on ready. So on ready? Yes, this is what we want. On ready. Okay. Because this actually happens before the ready variable. So we can make sure these are all initialized before anything is set. Predation equals min size. So it's just min size plus inactive difference. Hopefully this should be all fine. Yes, because all of these should be initialized before this. Time attraction ratio, and then for all of these we can just yes, okay. Okay, this adds the safety because otherwise we had things running in parallel and we didn't know which would get resolved first, and we needed them to resolve in a certain order, or else it freaks out. No, actually this doesn't matter. If we put this in the ready stuff, and then if we put the, we can get rid of predation distance squared, inactive predation, and attraction distance squared. We can get rid of all of these. Boids. Every Boid fetching, well, they already have it. Equals, and we'll just do it mediator dot predation distance. I don't love having that. I don't love this. This one is inactive. What do we call that one? Inactive predation distance. No, we do want the inactive separation distance squared, actually. What are they predating? The predation stuff is just the term for the mediator. Whether if they're scared of it. There we go. I want to leave that there. Attraction. Predation distance squared, and then this one is, yeah, no, they're hunting down the mediator, but then it's the reverse. It's the mediator hunting it down. The predation distance is usually there's a predator, and Boids try to avoid them. So it would be simulating like a eagle flying at the hawk, or like a hawk flying into the flock or something. Squared. All right. Will this work? It does get bigger and bigger. And I like how it's getting bigger and bigger. I think that works really, really well. But the inactive Boids aren't leaving it. So this looks pretty natural to me, I think. I like this a lot, actually. This is very good. This is awesome. Okay, I'm really happy with that. I just need to figure out why inactive predation distance squared is just not getting... That's why. It should just be inactive predation distance. Inactive predation distance equals predation distance plus inactive difference. I think the attraction distance needs to be bigger. They're trapped in this circle. Get fucked. All right. But it's not quite working. How? It doesn't quite work how I want it to. There are too many Boids in the center, and that's causing problems. And the attraction distance needs to be bigger, I think, for the active Boids. But I'll say the expanding circle does look good, so I am happy with that part. It's a little bit too chaotic in the beginning, too. What if we make the min size a lot smaller? Would that help it? Kind of, it did help it. It still takes a little bit for it to get good. Okay, so I think we want to make the attraction ratio bigger. Okay, but now we need to get the... Okay, predation distance equals minimum size. Inactive predation distance equals predation distance plus inactive distance difference. And inactive predation distance squared. Inactive predation squared. Okay. Okay, you can see the first few moving out of the way of the center. It's too chaotic. It's not working well anymore. I mean, it's parts of it are working. The expanding circle is good. I like the expanding circle. We might want to change the rate it expands and all of that kind of stuff, but the circle getting bigger and bigger as more people join in. That's good. It looks good. And having some of them trapped, it just looks like the expanding... That's just not expanding. Func predation distance. Inactive predation distance. Because we're setting an active difference. That's not what we want to do. Okay. What do you mean inactive predation distance isn't... Did I misspell it? Okay, here. Inactive predation distance. Okay, now let's try it. This should work a little bit better. This got worse. This isn't right at all. Yeah, I chased stuff. Yeah, Wota only, everyone else leave the venue. Okay, let's see. Inactive predation distance. Inactive predation distance equals plus inactive. That should... Why... What is happening? Okay, inactive... Okay, that is... Okay, we're gonna do print inactive predation distance. It's not changing at all. We're using the attraction distance. We want to be using the predation distance. There we go. This is a little bit better. Okay, we want this circle to be a lot smaller, I think. And maybe turn down the rate it grows. This is kind of working. Oh, what if we only set the, okay, this is starting to work better. But okay, I think I figured out one of the issues. It's choosing the active Boids from anywhere, and we only want the active Boids that are in this circle. So we're gonna add a var circle bool equals false. And circle only is if mediator is under predation distance. Yes, this is what we want. Predation force, circle. If not circle, then circle equals true. And active Boid count plus equals 1. Okay, I think that's how we do it, right? And then we should get rid of the other stuff from the active mediator. Yeah. Mediator. Where is it? Active Boid count. Okay, this way the circle only grows whenever we're actually in the circle, which should be true. That makes sense. It's not like the circle size is based on some sort of attraction distance needs to be way, way, way bigger. No, there should be a min attraction distance. I liked the original attraction distance ratio of 3.5, but I think min attraction distance should be export var min distance float equals, like, this eventually works, which is good. It's such a big hollow, though. I am having a little bit of issue with that. Maybe we decrease the... Oh, we can play with parameters. All right, min attraction distance. We're going to change to that. I think we wanted... because we don't have many to start with, so maybe we do 400 or something? So we're going to do attraction distance equals equals ceiling of that min attraction distance. No, that's not what we want. What's the, no, not ceiling. Godot float functions. No, we want like a constructor or an operator. No, we want a max. Oh yeah, it's max. That's what we want. Max and min. Yes, so we want max. Cool. That's correct. Predation distance, try. Yep. Okay. That should work. Now we're gonna have more people attracted and joining in. No, I don't like that. That behavior kind of sucks. I mean, maybe we make the size different. The size factor bigger. Yeah, it feels like people more trying to get the circle going. I like that part, but my issue is it takes them too long. Like, it does work eventually. Like, this is good. Like... you know what? This doesn't actually look terrible. It takes a little bit too long at the start. But... yeah, it looks quite good. And there is a little bit of... like, I wish I could make the start a little bit quicker, but I like a lot of these rates. This is pretty good. The inside could use a little bit more variation. That is true. We could make the circle a little wonkier. How would we make it a little wonkier? Yeah, it's way too perfect. Also, I think people... okay, there's a few different things. No. I think the wonkiness is good. I think that's a good idea. Yeah, and depending on the crowd, people end up inside their circle. We have people leave the circle way too much, I think is part of the problem. We need to have the inactive fear distance. I do like the people struggling to form the circle. I think that's pretty good. Angling the... so I'm going to do it is I'm going to have the inner radius of the circle vary, depending on the Boid. Is this going to be a slightly different ratio for each? So we're going to add a var circle wonkiness float. Yeah, I'm going to add a softer So float equals, okay, we're gonna add, I'm gonna var circle wonkiness max. Okay, so let's see, right now, let's see, we can do, yeah, like the softer edge for the predation force. Yep, I think that's also good. Yeah, no, people end up standing in the circle, in the middle of the circle. Like, I want people to get the inactive predation factor should be really low, I think. Something like that. And then I'm going to add circle wonkiness. We can do 50. And then what are we gonna do? Circle wonkiness is going to be... Circle wonkiness is going to be rand f times circle wonkiness max. Yes. And we're gonna do... So the circle speed is going to be... Okay, predation distance squared is going to be... No, we want the, Okay, we can... Alright, well first I'm gonna mess with that later, but right now we reduced the avoidance of the people in the middle. And we're gonna see if we start getting people trapped in it. And we do. Okay. This is better. This is better. This is better. Yeah, so I guess the two things are, I could change predation force to vary, or I can make the circle radius vary a bit. And I don't know what would work better. Okay, yeah, this is better. I did like that better. So predation distance. This is gonna make it slower. We can do less memoization, is the problem. Okay, so what we want is we're going to make predation distance different. We're going to make... So predation distance squared is going to equal mediator dot predation distance plus... No, we're going to do minus... Okay, no, I think plus. We just might have to make the actual circle smaller. Plus circle wonkiness. Will this work? Let's see. $50 might be too much. Okay, but it is less perfect now. I do like that better. It is better. Okay, yeah, that makes the vortex look a lot better. Because they're still trying to run in a circle, but yeah, that looks so much better, actually. Awesome. Okay, let's try 30? I think it also makes them make the circle a little quicker with the wonkiness. Maybe? Or maybe we only start doing it once it hits a certain size. I think that's a better... I think that's better. Because I think the 50 looks really good. When it's a full circle. Because we get natural wonkiness anyway. We could also have the wonkiness based on the size of the circle. Yeah, when there are a few, they look like they're, yeah, it's kind of this nice... I think there's just a little bit with the early on, it just takes a little too long for the circle to get going when it's set up like this. I guess we could change that to just making the base size bigger. That should help, actually. Okay, let's try this. Yeah, they're kind of running in a circle, and then the circle's going to get better and better as more people join in. Yeah, that works, I think. I like that. That looks good. And the variation in the wonkiness looks really, really good. I think that adds so much to this. Because it's not a perfect circle. Yeah, this is feeling a lot better. This is pretty perfect, I think. I mean, what if I just get rid of the people running away from the Wota? Maybe. No, I kind of like how I'm not sure about the people inside the middle. That's the part I'm really not sure about. This looks good. This looks good. I like that I just changed one of the variables just a little bit. And I think this forms very naturally. It looks very natural. I like how it gets bigger. Like, I might make more people interested, but I think I like the size. This is just good. This looks good. I'm pretty happy with it. Yeah, I mean, it's the people in the middle. That's the circle. Like, these people are what's bugging me. And I'm not sure if I want to just make the inactive predation factor lower? Like, that's really low. Let's see how this works. Because the problem is the people in the middle... Yeah, I mean, we can mention the shortcomings. Because, like, sometimes the circles are completely hollow, and sometimes there's a few people. Okay, this looks better, actually, though. I will say, just changing that value. I think, yeah, this looks more organic, I think. Yep, this is good. This is good. Only other thing I can think of is making the crowd less jostly for the non-Wota goer. Like, make them jostle a lot based on the Wota goers, which they do. I like how much the avoidance is, but then I need to, like, I definitely need to, I think, reduce the just the random jostling in the crowd. So we're gonna have a second pair of parameters there. But then after that, I think this is pretty on point, and I just need to start adding a bunch of like debug flags that I can use to turn on and off different features of the simulation. And I've only been working for a little, so I think because I want to show the Boid flocking separately, so I want to have preset flock variables. I want to have 2 different set of these, of all the different factors. I want to have one set for, like, more traditional flocking, and then one set for, yeah. And then I want to just be able to turn on and off of each of these features, like, consecutively, so I can show the simulation getting better and better and better. Well, I want to show what a normal Boid simulation looks like. And these parameters are fine-tuned for the circling. They're not fine-tuned for normal flocking. So like, for instance, if I'm gonna turn off this, I'm just gonna make active equals true. And I'm going to just get rid of the mediation value. So for instance, this is how they flock based on this, the parameters we have set now. And it's not a very good flocking. It's not just very good looking flocking. It's fine. Like, it's still a fun simulation. Also, it's laggy because of how many we have. So we're gonna need to reduce that for when I'm just demoing the normal flocking behavior. I mean, I think there's just too many for normal flocking behavior. So I'm gonna change some of the parameters just for, you know, I just want a slide showing what it looks like for normal flocking. And then it just be able to, you know, because I think I just think it's useful to be able to just kind of show iteratively, you know, how the simulation has improved with each of these functions that we've added. Hi, Sayonara. But yeah, this is... I am happy with this as the end. Well, I want to change the crowd jostling a little bit, but I'm about happy with the end result. So, and then I just need to go back and start adding flags and stuff so that we can just, you know, go back and I can just change a couple flags and have it at different stages of the simulation, which... you know, which I just think is important for showing, hey, this is why this, you know, like the wonkiness element. Like, I think the wonkiness element is really, really important. I almost think the wonkiness element is cooler to show off than the before the dynamic circle. Because I think it would work better. Yeah. Yep. Having all the different stages, it shows why certain things are important. And I think that's just going to be really important for the PowerPoint, is me being able to show each consecutive stage. I think that's just useful. I like how there's the one little right here. There's just one of them that's interested in joining in, like potentially, but it's too far away. There's just one Boyd that would happily... Can you make sure... Like, if he was a little bit closer, he'd be so happy to join in the circle, but he's just too far away. He's not joining in. I don't know. I love watching these kind of simulations because you get really fun... Oh, he made it. I'm proud of you. You get really fun emergent behaviors. Like, that's... Yeah, that's to me just like very... It makes me happy. The simulation is never the same twice, because of how we do the... Because it's randomly spawned, and you just get fun behaviors with all these different variables and, like, behaviors. Oh, I love the wonkiness of the circle. This looks so good now. That, like, that natural is just... Yeah, no, that's just... I'm so... No, it was such a good call to not make the circle as perfect as it was. It looks so much more real now. Just that little bit of randomness. But yeah. And you know what? We wrote something that's very much not meant to be done in Godot, which is fun. I mean, there were advantages of doing in Godot, as there was less of the setup. I didn't have to set up all the physics stuff. I didn't have to figure out all the rendering stuff. I could just... Like, you know, we had to spend a few hours in optimization. No, we would be writing a custom... Like, the way that you do this is you write a custom program, or you plug it into, like, you plug it into something like Blender or Maya. Like, you write it for an art program, and you don't run it in real time, you render it frame by frame. That's how you would realistically use this. This isn't... Like, you can use smaller Boids simulations in games, sure, but, like, if you're using it for, like, animation, like anything else, you're... Yeah, I know, I love real time. I love doing things real time. That is... Yeah, no, it works. Here, I'm gonna restart it, just because I like the beginning. Yeah, you could get it running real time, but replace the Boids now with fully animated Wota goers, waving their little light sticks and stuff. Like, maybe, yeah, maybe you could do it in Blender, but, like... Also, why would you need to... I mean, part of the thing is... I mean, this is good for previewing it, like the real time, but really, unless it's in something interactive, you don't need things to run in real time, is the nice... It's nice when they do, because it makes previewing it so much easier. But, like... for computer graphics papers and computer animations, the way that it was always talked about was it will take 2 days to render out your example video. If you make it for more efficient, you have more things that you can render for that. No, we're just for that video. If you improve your model so it does more, you know, so the video is nicer, well, you're now have a nicer 2-day video. It's just always going to take a... Yeah, Boids don't actually do collision. They have a thing called a separation factor where they try and separate out. So there's no actual collision in here. The collision that we're doing is just finding the neighbors, so we can do math based on the neighbors. So that we can do this math, like a bunch of distance calculations and stuff based only on the neighbors instead of everyone else. I mean, we've already broken it a bunch. This is a this is like day 4 or 5 of writing this. So she's this is, we even came up with like, I think we literally did optimizations that made it like 6 or 7 times faster. Oh yeah, no, we've been making a lot of progress each day. Like I am happy with this, and well, there's a couple things I just really want to tweak. I want to add a extra variable just for the crowd. They're just a little bit too animated. I want to damp them a little. But like I'd be pretty happy presenting this as the final method and the presentation. I feel like you could work with this, and if you actually made them 3D models running around, improve collision a little bit. Instead of just using separation, like actually have collision. No, so Chovek, if you spend 3 days optimizing the code so it renders in 1 day instead of 2, you just make you just do more with it. I mean, that's kind of the thing of, it will always take 2 days worth of time because the render will either be prettier. So boards aren't that hard. The reason why the simulation has... boards are actually very, very simple. We got them running pretty quickly. Godot is just not a good way to do boards because, I mean, we're using a Python-like scripting language. Boards are meant to be done like very efficiently in C code. No, so the thing that and a lot of this was us not just doing the original Boids paper, but like 2 or 3 other papers, and then adding our own original elements to the simulation to kind of recreate the Hamtaro rave effect, which is them running in this circle in the crowd. You know, we've added them having people join in. We've added the variation of the circle, and there was a lot of tweaking parameters and optimization and stuff. So, and also I've not been working the full days. I've been streaming 3 to 4. Yeah, if you look up Hamtaro circle on YouTube, it's just a bunch of people running in circles when people start singing the Hamtaro opening. It's awesome. I mean, it was so much fun it's so much fun to watch whenever there is a concert or at Anikura. Yeah, so Halo, the way that I plan on doing this is I'm going to have the same amount of separation with the actual Wota goers, but less separation between the crowd and other crowd members. If that makes sense. So the crowd cares more about avoiding the people, the Wota goers, is kind of the big thing. They care more about that than avoiding one another. Yep. Which, I mean, is fair, I think. I would worry more about avoiding the people running around than the person staying relatively still nearby. I mean, that's the kind of nice thing about this simulation is everything is pretty intuitive because they're all based off of... I mean, that's the whole reason why I did this simulation is because I was able to talk about the behaviors like when we were just watching fish at the aquarium, watching schooling fish, and some Wota gay folk were like, oh yeah, we do that. And I was like, oh. And now I can just, and you can kind of intuit of like other features. It's nice. That's why I like the Boid framework so much. It's just, it makes so much sense. And it's so like, it's not just arbitrary values and stuff. So anyway, I need to real quick, you now have exactly one problem with the sim. Go for it. I'm going to go make some tea real quick. Why is this teapot full? Have you been steeping for 2 days. I'm gonna go rinse that out. It's fine. It's not moldy or anything. It smells fine. I'm gonna go put boiling water on it. We're good. I usually do clean it. Anyway, it's fine. There was nothing slimy or anything. It was literally just green tea leaves soaking in cold water. So, like, nothing that is gonna cause any issues, and now I put near boiling water in it. So yeah. No, we're fine. She's still good. Did you just get honey on your outside? You did. Oops. I'm gonna place it upstairs. But yeah, no, if I'm gonna... It's not overpriced. It was perfectly fine for a price. Anyway, I don't know. She's still fine. She makes good tea, and I've never gotten sick from the tea. Yeah, 2 days is not much. It's also a cold room. Like, it's not... So, it was literally just green tea leaves soaking in cold water. It's fine. Like, I wouldn't drink the concentrate, but it's not like it's not gonna hurt anything. Right? Right. Everything's fine. Everything is fine. Yeah, but I've been doing maintenance, and whenever I get like scared, like I boil it, like I do the whole sanitization process. Don't worry. And I did once get scared, and it turns out it was fine. It just got stained. I thought so I did once forget about some tea in it, and it was like, and I freaked out because it had some splotchiness on the outside. So it's an unfinished teapot. It's porous. Which means it makes good tea and it seasons, but it does mean it can get moldy if you don't take good care of it. And so I like forgot, but I just wasn't doing well, and I wasn't coming down in the basement a lot, and I like freaked out because it was like miscolor and all of that. So I did the whole like boiling with the baking soda and like all this stuff to like. Yeah, I had that, and she was fine. It turned out that it had stained on the outside because the water just seeped through the porous ceramic to the outside. So the outside was slightly darkened by the tea water. Because I think it was hojicha, which is like slightly... It's not like pure green tea, like it has a bit more color to it. So it stains. So she looks slightly diseased because of that, but like she brews good tea. It's fun. I really like her. It's also just, it's so much easier than making coffee. But yeah, because like I was freaking out. Like I thought it was mold. But like it wasn't going away from any of the things that like would clean mold, which is why I was like, I started getting really confused until I realized it was just stained. The grinding is not the hard part of coffee. I don't know. Coffee is just kind of annoying. Okay, it's not annoying to make coffee in a coffee machine. It's kind of annoying to make good pour over with fresh beans. Like, and like you can make it, but like have it turn out good, make sure the water is the right temperature and all of that. And like that's a little bit harder. So, with all the weights and everything, and for this, it's like put some tea leaves in a pot, put some hobby. Yeah, I know she likes doing tea, and having coffee, and coffee is fun to do. It's just, it's a lot, and if I just want warm caffeine beverage really, really quick, I like tea. Also, I can drink more tea. And that's also one of the problems is I can make the coffee once a day at most. I can make the tea 5 or 6 times, which for me is a huge advantage. No, not. So the nice thing about this teapot is it has a filter inside of it, like it's a ceramic filter. So I can just put like a teaspoon of loose leaf in here add the water and it comes out perfect. None of it goes through so I get like genuinely really nice cups of tea from it, like some of the best tea I've had in my life, and it's just add hot water. That's why I really like it. Yeah, like it's not, I think that's the nice thing is I can do it. Oh, you buy empty paper bags. Oh yeah, I do that. Or I just get like from tea shops. There's a good local tea shop that does a lot of fruity teas that I might move to next. Just because it's, yeah, so my pot has a filter built in, so I don't need to worry about that. Part of the reasons I got this pot. And honestly, like it's seasoning over time, and you're supposed to only ever use it with one type of tea, like for like a lot of the Chinese ones. But I'm okay with it slightly changing the taste of some of the tea. Like I'm okay with it being like a cast iron, like with like something that just slowly develops more and more flavor. I don't mind. Like I'm not gonna make yeah, the flavor builds up over time, and I'm okay with a more varied flavor building up. Like, so I've been having, what is it called? Sencha. I was drinking a lot of sencha. Now I found this really nice Chinese tea that I really like. And I was having some hojicha as well, and now, once I run out of this, I'm probably going to move on to good old some of these like fruity green tea blends and stuff from White Tea Company, WIGHT. It's a pair of like queer siblings that just do tea blends here in Baltimore, which is nice. So a lot of like the local coffee shops just has them. They have a really good peach oolong and a really good just like tropical green. And a really nice mint tea if you're into mint. I do not love mint teas, but theirs is pretty good. But yeah, like and I mean, what blends they have vary. Like right now they have pumpkin, coconut, rhubarb. They have lavender, Earl Grey, sage, rose, white tea, blueberry, basil, rhubarb, and tropical cabana. And the tropical cabana is sencha, a peach, pineapple, apple, apricot, mango, and coconut. I love the mint herb, and I also love mint the ghost, but I am not big into mint flavor, if that makes sense. It's just very strong. Yeah, so like I hate mint chocolate. Like I despise mint chocolate. But yeah, they have a popular one called Maryland Mint that they do a lot. They have ginger peach green, fireside fig. Ooh, full-bodied fluty floral. Cinnamon, ginger, and fig. Oh, it's a honeybush. It's a honeybush tea. That sounds good. Oh, I love the herb. The herb is really good. I really like the flavor of the herb. I love it in drinks, especially. Oh, I like these herbal teas. And I did get some of their mint tea. But it's spearmint, which I don't which is just kind of strong. But yeah, I like tea. I don't know a lot about tea. Like, I don't know. I mean, I've made tea on Handcamp before, actually. But it's nothing. It is literally would just be me going upstairs, adding the hot water, coming down, waiting like 3 minutes, and then just pouring from the teacup. There's nothing to do. And it's a hot water dispenser. So it's running all the time. Because it like doesn't take much water to like keep it at temp. Yeah, but there's a lot more going on with making coffee. Which is why I don't make it. Anyway, so also the thing is it only makes 200 milliliters of tea at a time, which is perfectly enough, but it's not a lot. So it cools down pretty quick. So I can't take a while drinking it. I would have to keep on running back upstairs and running back down. Oh, okay. I'm gonna go back to finishing this off, but I just needed to repost Cinny's old Pride tweet. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Coffee is, the nice thing about coffee is there's ritual to it. Like a pour over routine has a lot of ritual to it, which is very nice. I enjoyed when I was living with my sister, like her making coffee in the morning with the French press and stuff. It was nice. Like, there's a lot of waiting around, there's a lot of like time involved, but it's just like, it's a nice morning ritual. We would have our coffee and watch RuneScape videos on YouTube. It was great, honestly. I miss it. I miss it a bunch. Oh, I can get rid of the print statement. We don't want you anymore. So I was gonna add an active separation distance. They should have the same separation distance, I think, but we'll add a different... There's an inactive separation factor. We're gonna add export var inactive crowd separation factor. What if we make this like 2? Much lower. And then we're going to go to separation. Okay, Okay. Okay. Sorry, my brain is a little bit like fried. Yesterday was rough. Yeah, so just it's you know, just it's been some bad but thank you. Things are better. I'm on an upswing. It was just a bad downswing. Which is why there were periods when we were going a week plus between streams. Thankfully, we're not at that point anymore, but it's just getting back to full strength just takes a little bit. It's a little rocky. It's been going better though. So, right, I was going to do, what are we calling this? An active crowd separation factor. Okay. I hate some of these names. These are such bad names. So for no one needs to know. I know every time I look at this code. I mean, I'm not really going to reuse this code probably. Excuse me. If distance squared is less than if void active oh wait, no, we can't do the, we've set this up where oh no, if we just move in the separation factor stuff, that makes it less of it. That's fine. That's fine. If is greater than the separation plus equals this times separation factor. Times separation factor. Else if distance equals plus separation times inactive separation factor. If void else separation inactive separation crowd factor. Okay. Slightly less efficient, but that's fine. I was wondering if I had eaten today. I did. I had no, I had a bagel. I had a bagel with cream cheese and a kombucha. All right, let's see. Crowd separation's way too low. This isn't terrible. This isn't terrible, actually. Yeah. We didn't get any stuck inside. Well, we got one stuck inside, but... Oh, two got stuck inside. I think that was just luck of the draw. Yeah, this isn't... They jostle a little bit less. There's a little bit more overlap in the crowd. I don't like quite that much overlap. Let's try this. Okay, we did have one get caught in the middle that joined in that time. Okay, I kind of like how this looks better. This is a little bit less intense jostling. And the circle isn't getting stuck on anything. Yeah, the FOMO guy appeared. I like this. I think this simulation is good. Okay, now it's time to start adding all the checks. I don't want to. Maybe we should increase the separation factor back up. I'll just do it to like 4. Just a little bit lower. That doesn't matter that much. Really? Yeah, this is good. This is good. I like this. We get good simulations. They do interact in good ways. Sorry, there was a video sent of a duck eating a kitten just in the Discord channel. That Discord was just open in the background. And I was like, oh. I see. I understand. Okay. The duck and the kitten. Alright. Now we've just hit the boring part. Debug flags. I should have been adding them this entire time. Now I need to go back and add them all, and I don't want to. Static var. Okay, let's make these. What are we calling this one? It's not that I need debugging capabilities. I need to just be able to toggle on and off different parts of the simulation for generating a bunch of windows without having to like comment out a bunch of stuff. So that I can have different videos and stuff to show. I mean, I could just comment it out, but it's like having flags in this is just good practice. No, I don't. I'd have to learn how to do a bunch of Godot UI stuff. It would be good. It would be icing on the cake for this as a, like, if I released it. If I released it, I would absolutely put sliders on it so that you could play with it. Maybe I could do that. I could. Nah, I don't know. I don't know. No, that's... It would be good. It would be good for releasing a demo. It would be really good for releasing a demo. I think I might do sliders for the stream. But I think doing... But then I'd have to upload it too. Yeah, no, it wouldn't be very complicated. I'm not sure. It's like one of those... The goal is to demonstrate that this works for this method. If this was like a demo application, then sliders would be really important, and I could have those up on something. And I guess that's more... So it's like, it's not needed for the PowerPoint that I'm presenting in... Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. Little bit under 3 weeks. But working up to that point... No. So I think it's a good... It's not even a month away. I leave on the 17th. To be fair, I want this, like, I want everything presentable and final by this weekend. So I want the simulation done today. And then I can get the video rendered and the presentation written. As well. Yeah, no, after, oh god. After the conventions, things are gonna be so much better. I'm gonna be so more productive. Yeah. Oh no, we're gonna make so many redstone crimes. The latest version of it. I'm looking at him like, oh. Hold on, this was actually the simplest solution. There's no circuit fuckery or anything. It's just like I mean, it's basically mechanical. Okay, static var. Do I have to do these right now? I don't have to do these right now. I should do these right now. Yeah, I'm feeling myself fizzle out, unfortunately. You know what? We have the final result. We have the final result, and that is like so much of the puzzle. We have everything we need now in the program. All I need to do is just make versions so that I can record stuff to put in a PowerPoint. And to be fair, that's like a 10 or 20 minute ask. It's just I don't want to do it. You know when you have something that's really easy and simple to do? But because it's easy and simple, you just kind of don't want to do it? Does that ever happen to anyone working on stuff? It's like, yeah, it's the last little bit. But Like, I don't feel like it. uh, yeah, I have that problem the most with programming, but it's in general, it's like it's like I'll do a lot of photos, for instance, and they'll all be in a good state, and then I'll never actually upload and post them. Ooh, what's happening? Why aren't you... Oh, it's because I was focusing on something else. It's just like stuff like that. Anyway, well, it works. It looks good. I'm happy with it. The inner circle behavior is not terrible. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out, actually. Yeah. Okay. I'm kind of just not quite dozing off, but my brain is like just kind of blanking out. Like I'm kind of fading. So I think that's probably a sign that I call it here. Yeah. No stream tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to the aquarium and taking Game Boy photos of fish. And then... No, it's not a day. It's with Small Dog. And then the... Yeah. And then I don't know what I'm gonna do next week. Like, I was kind of expecting to have to do a bunch of co-working streams literally until off-Kai. But I could finish Metal Gear. Maybe play some Pokemon. I don't know. Yeah, I will probably need one more co-working stream just to make the PowerPoint. I'll try and get the video beforehand. Write it all up, get everything, and then I add that in. I should... Yeah, I should ask one technical question in the Discord. But I think this is like... I mean, we finished the programming, and realistically for the presentation, it shouldn't take that long to get written up. Because a lot of this I've had to work out and figure out what I'm going to say and how to do just from streaming, which is why streaming this was a good idea. Because it's not just me alone in a lab, it's me with an audience asking questions. So, and giving feedback, which is just really, really helpful. So, I made notes too, which is nice. So I can actually reference things. Why did you turn gray? I don't know why you turned gray. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna call it here. I'll figure out next week. It might be... It just might be a little chill. Yeah. Okay, well, I'm gonna stop here so that I don't push myself too hard and like start crashing out. Gonna go upstairs, bring the Gribbus. Yeah. Yeah, we could like play Armored Core. Yeah, that wouldn't be bad. Armored Core, Metal Gear, Yu-Gi-Oh! Or something. Yeah, that'd be fun. Alright, I will talk to y'all later. Hotsubui.